presiding officer.
We have to establish the emergency.
Okay, thank you. An emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon an ordinance fixing the tax rate and levy taxes for the 12-month 2017 fiscal year, beginning January 1, 2017, and ending December 31st, 2017, upon taxable properties within the towns and cities of the County of Nassau, Cook County. County Fire Prevention, Safety Communication, and Education Fund, County Police Headquarters, County Police Districts, Nassau Community College, County New York State Property Tax Refund Fund, County Environmental Bond Fund, Nassau County Sewer and Stormwater Resource Districts, County Disputed Assessment Fund, and for the aforementioned 2017 fiscal year for town, town highway, town general fund part town, town special districts, unpaid water charges, in arrears, town sidewalks and curb assessment, and other lawful purposes, and allocating revenues from certain sales taxes imposed within the county of Nassau outside of the city of Long Beach, and determining the equalization rate in relation thereto, and authorizing and directing the county executive and the clerk of the Nassau County Legislature to execute separate tax warrants addressed to the receiver of taxes of the town and cities within the county of Nassau for the collection of the several sums mentioned therein, pursuant to the provisions of the county government law of Nassau County and the Nassau County Administrative Code, the real property tax law, the county law, the local finance law, the tax law, the town law, and the education law of the state of New York, and Chapter 14 of the laws of 1995.
Motion to establish the emergency. Moved by legislator Dunn, seconded by legislator Walker. All those in favor of establishing the emergency signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? I don't think so, right? The emergency is established. And now for the item, and it's already read into the record, a motion on the item. Moved by legislator Dunn, seconded by legislator Walker. All right, who wants to speak on this? Is there anyone who wants to speak on this item? Do you have any questions on this?
We do. Who's going to answer? Artie, you want to ask it?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to confirm that the town of Oyster Bay has not yet filed its budget. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Although the charter says that they must before the ordinance is passed. Is that correct?
That is also correct. They did in fact furnish us with the data for the production of the ordinance, and it's my understanding that they had filed in February of this year for this year. Right. So this is not the first time that they have not filed.
But to pass it now would be in violation of the charter, would it not?
I wouldn't say it's in violation of the charter. I would say that we have the information and we're capable of passing it, and that it's necessary to pass it, or else none of the towns will be able to collect their
Except
taxes.
all the other towns have filed their budgets.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, legislator Sorga.
Could you just explain for the record what the time period is, when do they have to file by, and why it came to this body as an emergency today?
The towns have different time periods in terms of when they have to file their when they have to pass their budgets in terms of their localities. So normally, the respective three towns are passed, their budgets are passed sometime in November. And then this item, it's like a pro forma. This body always votes on it by emergency for the end of the year. And actually this year, we've been able to accomplish it much earlier because of the data that was sent to us from the towns, because we knew that this was the last the last ledge session for the year. So we want to be able to accomplish the goal this year.
And what's the explanation why what's the explanation why Oyster Bay is not filed?
I couldn't tell you why they weren't filed. I know that last year they filed in February. They filed in February of this year for the previous year.
Huh.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. So if we know that we need this budget to move it forward, I'm at a loss as to why the county is not putting some level of pressure on the town to get it here.
We put pressure on the town by asking for their tax levy requirement so that this body can vote on the tax levy ordinance, because they well know that the ordinance needs to be passed by this body. So our main concern is that they give us their levy requirement, and they have done so. So once you vote on this budget, on this tax levy ordinance, that's the tax levy that they have to live by, because January 1st, those tax bills go out.
Because it's my understanding, because I just asked legal counsel if the budget in the town of Oyster Bay passed, and it was reported that it actually passed on November 29, 2016. So why it wouldn't have been forwarded to the county for the purpose of this particular item today really is at a loss. They should be made aware that this is not something that we want to make common practice. I mean, if, in all fairness, I'm led to support this today because the town of North Hempstead's on there and the town of Hempstead is on there, and they've complied. But the town of Oyster Bay needs to know that this is not the way, we're not going to consider this business as usual, and they need to comply and get the paperwork here timely. So I don't know how we can, what part of the administration deems it appropriate to convey that, but I think it's appropriate that they know that. Thank you.
I will take it back to my office and see what they plan on doing with your.
Thank you.
Any other? I'm not looking that way. Any other comment from the legislators? All right, any public comments on this? There being none, all those in favor of?
Presiding officer?
Yes.
No, just my intent is to vote no on this because of issues with the Hempstead IDA that I've addressed before on prior occasions. I do think that the tax roll is incorrect because it lacks accurate information, and there are a number of errors committed by, I believe, by Fred Portal, the executive director of the IDA, and so I'll be voting against this. Thank you.
There being
Just
no,
for the record, the tax, and with all due respect to the legislator, the tax roll is correct.
thank you very much. There being no other comments, all those in favor of item 614 signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
And then you got some abstentions.
Oh, wait, now, we got, any ayes?
Yes.
We have 2 ayes,
Yeah,
3 ayes.
3 ayes, yeah.
Okay, and then 4,
Then you have 1 no,
1 no, which is?
it's carried. And then you have 3
Abstain.
abstentions
Okay,
by
all right.
the other people.
Okay, so here we go. 3 plus 11 is 14. All right, okay. And we have 14 aye in favor, aye, and 3 abstentions. Am I correct? And 1 no.
And 1 no.
Okay, you got it? Okay, so the item passes. And I regret to say that I need to put this legislative session in recess. I want to know.
A week after.
You should hold the meeting.
This, I'm sorry to say, but this legislative session is now in recess. The next order of business is reconvening the October 19th legislative Okay? And there's only one item on that